Greetings, people, and welcome to the LPF Pod Lounge. Wow, I don't know what's wrong with me. Anyway, this is a podcast brought to you by myself, Ryan Peters of Living Plant Foods. And I decided to do this to basically share the stories of different people that have transitioned to a plant-based lifestyle. Now, this is a podcast that will hopefully inspire you, the listener, on your journey to well-being. I believe that we are all in this together because we are all connected. We are all learning and growing to evolve to become better and healthier versions of ourselves. These conversations are all organic, all raw, all living, and all plant-based. So I hope you enjoy as we share our stories to uplift and push each other forward. Joining me today in the Pod Lounge, I have a very special guest. Now, this guy is a personal trainer. He is a health and lifestyle coach. He is a community leader, a humanitarian, and an all-round great human being. Me and this brother crossed paths around 6 months ago, and we instantly hit it off, which is rare, but we did, and I'm so glad that we did. Dwayne Cooper is a born and raised Londoner who has been training in calisthenics professionally since 2012. Known as Coupe or Coupe DC via social media, he is recognized for his rigorous attention to form, attention to detail, and incredible plant-based strength. He has been featured in Men's Health magazine and Men's Fitness magazine multiple times, as well as across various other media, including Evening Standard and Vegan Society, for his highly regarded and revitalizing approach to health and wellness. It's such a pleasure and an honor to have him in the Pod Lounge, sharing his journey from where it all began to where he is now. Yes, brother, thank you so much for joining me today, man.
Yes.
How you doing, brother?
All good. It's been long days, long nights, but everything's been working out as well as I planned it to.
Amazing, man. Well, you know what? It's great to have you in the Pod Lounge. I call this the Pod Lounge.
Okay.
Where I bring people in to my space to basically, share their stories of their transition or their life or whatever it is they are putting out to the universe. So I've already kind of like given you an introduction, but what I do like is I like for my guests to introduce themselves to the listeners. So would you like to introduce yourself to the listeners? And my first question would be, is who are you and where do you come from, bro?
I am Coupe DC. That's what I'm formerly known as on Instagram and social media. I am a personal trainer, holistic health coach, fasting advocate, nutritionist, all of that stuff. But
Nice.
I'm from London. I'm from west side of London.
Nice.
Where we have the Notting Hill Carnival,
Okay,
where we celebrate our differences and try and bring unity back amongst different colours and different races. So that's what Carnival is actually all about.
Nice.
So yeah, that's me.
Wicked, man. And how long did you grow up around the area?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I've been there since, I've been there for a long time. Since I was 3.
Oh, wow.
I've been living in Notting Hill area.
That's crazy. So you've like proper been like living in the heart of where the carnival is. Because I'm obviously from Southeast London, Peckham. So I remember just like traveling. And it always seems so far to travel up to Notting Hill Carnival to enjoy such an event. But you've obviously grown up around it, right?
Yeah, that's been me. I remember the first time I actually was able to go outside by myself. I must have been about 12 or 13. And we had a lot of fun. It's just off my road, so I could see it from my balcony. I can see it from my windows.
Hear it as well, I'm sure.
Yeah, of course. The first float that goes by is around 7:30 a.m. No one actually knows that though. But that's just it's just a little float for those people doing juve throwing.
Right.
Mud and paint at each other. I think it's like the last float that happens during the nighttime, all day
Nice.
through the daytime. Yeah.
Cool, man. Wicked. So you obviously mentioned your professions just a few seconds ago. So you are a fitness trainer.
hmm
You're
Calisthenics. So
calisthenics fitness trainer.
that's body weight training.
Yeah.
So when you use your body as your weight, no added weights, no. Well, for myself, I don't use any added weights, no protein shakes, no supplements. You know.
Okay. Amazing. So what? How did you? How long have you been doing that for? And what was your journey into that, into calisthenics?
Um, since 2012 is when we started doing it properly,
Yeah.
and it was just me and a group of my friends, and we met up with another friend of mine called Shaka,
Mm-hmm.
and he was quite serious with it. His history with bodyweight training was quite up there because he used to do gymnastics, so it's quite inspiring to watch. And yeah, we just all started training with each other, and then we sat down, we started discussing how we can form a class to train other people to do the same thing. And yeah, few meetings, a few weeks of planning and preparation, we started up Spartan Fam. So
Amazing.
yeah, we started up Spartan Fam, and it started off with 11 people coming to our first class, and then quickly shot all the way up to 50, 60 people in one class
Wow.
on a Friday night where most people are like, thank God it's Friday, let's go and get a drink. So yeah,
Yeah.
we had 60 people out there running on the streets, doing lunges across the road and jumping on scaffoldings and doing pull-ups on a Friday night.
That's really cool. And so, how did you discover calisthenics? Like, was you always into calisthenics? Is that how you got into shape, or like, did you hit the gym first, and was you doing weight training before that? Like, what has been your journey from then?
I mean, we start talking about journey. Um, I used to do taekwondo when I was younger.
So did I
Fell out
actually.
of that. Oh, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, I did that for a little while. Then I got distracted, started skateboarding and snakeboarding, and then what's that about 17? I started boxing. 17 to 19, I was boxing,
Hmm.
and then yeah, up until 2012 is when I started doing bodyweight training. I wasn't doing anything in between that time at all when it comes in regards to exercise.
So you was never a gym guy.
No, do you know what? Actually, hold on, I've forgotten. When I was 15, I hit the gym. I don't know for how long. Um, Tried doing a couple of bench presses. That was basically what all the guys was doing in the area. So, but no one took it serious. It was just in a youth club. So we just used a communal gym. But apart from that, no, I no weights. I signed up to Fitness First mid 20s 3 times on
Yeah.
3 occasions. I did 2 3 month um, memberships, and then I did a full year membership. And each time, hoping that I would actually go to the gym because I bought the membership, thinking, yeah, I'm going to go to the gym. And out of the 1 year and 6 months, I went to the gym 6 times.
Wow.
So yeah, one of the times I actually walked into the gym, I walked in there, looked around, looked to my left, looked to my right, and was like, yeah, nah.
Man said, "Nah, this is not for me."
Yeah, and I just left.
That's
But yeah, no,
interesting.
I just haven't been into that environment. It wasn't exciting. Never really, just the atmosphere in there just wasn't my style. Yeah, just didn't grab me in that sense. Just didn't grab me at all. So I just didn't bother. So yeah, I spent a lot of money on not going to the gym.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
That's pretty cool, man, because obviously a lot of people, including myself, once used to hit the gym to try and get in shape. The thing that they tell you to do, that they promote people to do is to go to the gym, pump weights, eat meat, blah 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 to get into shape, to get that, you
Yeah.
know, proper form that, you know, society says is the way for a man to look. So it's quite interesting that, you know, for someone that is so fit as yourself, that looks really good and built, you know, you never kind of started out in the gym, because again, a lot of people started out in the gym and then kind of like discover calisthenics
Yeah.
later on, which happened to me after trying to be in shape in the gym. I discovered like body weight training, and that kind of
Mm.
helped me to find my way. But no, that's cool, man. So you're a fitness trainer. That's your profession. What else did you say? You said you're a nutritionist.
Yeah. Nutritionist, holistic health coach,
Mm-hmm.
which all just fell, that came afterwards.
Right,
I just fell into it
right.
because as a personal trainer, you have to do a certain amount of courses. I mean, the courses of being a personal trainer now is been simplified to the point where I don't even understand why I don't even understand what the reasons are for having these courses, because they're done in 2 weeks, whereas my courses, when I was doing my PT course, it was taking months for me to complete mine.
Right.
So a lot of people are doing a PT course and that's what they stick to. Whereas I love learning new things. So
Yeah.
even during my PT course, we was touching upon different topics, whether it's nutrition and different styles of training. When I was touching on these small topics, I thought, okay, now I could look into a little bit of that, a little bit of that,
Yeah.
and I could continue studying on these topics in depth at my own time.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so trying to become a better athlete or street athlete, trying to progress my fitness and my health to a new level was something that I was striving for. Whereas a lot of people like to coast off the knowledge that they already have and just continue on as they got to that level, just
Yeah.
continue on at that level.
Yeah.
I always like to progress, and that's the way I train. So yeah, so I kind of fell into everything else just because I had a drive and an urge to want to learn more.
Yeah. 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 That's pretty inspiring, bro. That's really cool. Um, what was I gonna say? I had another question. Too busy listening to you, bro. I'm trying to get it all in, you know, trying to get it all in, bro. Um, wow, forgot my next question. But you know what? I'm gonna go. Oh yeah, that was the question. So obviously you have been featured on, was it Men's Health magazine?
Yes.
Was that the front cover?
Um, no, not front cover, just a few pages.
Okay,
Um, in just a few pages in the magazine, but
wicked.
I was featured in Men's Health, I think 4 magazines, probably 4 editions.
And how did that happen?
Uh, because Spartan Fam was actually a big deal back in those days. So
Hmm.
yeah, our name was out there, and the way our style of training, um, where we used to train, we were seen, publicly seen. We was out there. People saw us, a lot of our stuff on the social media. So um, yeah, of course they got in contact with us and recommended if or asked if any of us can feature on in their magazines. And I think Shaka did a few, and
Hmm.
then I did a few. But it was Men's Health and Men's Fitness magazine, so we did both. We did both magazines
Oh,
actually,
wicked.
and majority of them were to do with, it wasn't modeling. So yeah, let me just put that out there. We weren't out there modeling on Men's Health or Men's Fitness magazine.
Right,
We
right.
were there. We was as a model, um, performing certain exercises, whether they're power moves, whether it be handstand press ups or clap press ups, but we'll be demonstrating how to do those moves and
Right.
progression of
Yeah.
how to do those moves. So yeah, that's what I was asked to do. So yeah, I was featured in a few magazines because they had a hashtag out called um, Get to 10. That was mental.
Yeah.
Get to 10 was the hashtag. It was an exercise that I thought was difficult for most people to do. And I would do the exercise, and then I would do um, the exercise to build you up to be able to have the strength to do the exercise, the power move of 10 repetitions, whether it be a headstand or handstand push-ups, um, clap push-ups, anything explosive, front lever, back lever. Yeah,
That's cool.
I
Wicked
hope that
stuff.
makes sense.
No, yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense, bro. It makes sense. I think it's you know, a great achievement to be featured in such magazines. For what you
Thank you.
guys started. So yeah, round of applause for that. So let's talk about the
Thank you.
food side of things, because obviously this is living
Hmm.
plant foods. This is about you know, nutrition. It's about, you know, living well, you know, well-being, and you know, just treating your body and giving your body the right foods that we know is meant for us. So when did you? So obviously, you started out as just, you know, just a standard American diet. I call it that for everywhere,
Hmm.
because that's basically what it is. The sad diet is the world
The
diet.
sad diet.
So I'm guessing that's where you started from, just, you know, how we kind of all grew up, you know, eating a lot of meat, fish, dairy, eggs and stuff. Um, is that correct?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is.
cool.
Yeah,
So
you're not wrong there.
when did you decide to transition to cutting all those things out of your diet, and why?
Um, I That happened due to me wanting to advise people on better diets.
Hmm.
So, for myself, I believe that if I'm going to be, so if I'm a health coach or a personal trainer, if I'm going to advise someone to do something, whether it's exercise or eat differently, I should be the person that knows how to do it, whether it's exercising, um, or I should have done it myself, whether it's a diet, before I advise someone else to do it. So
Makes sense.
for me to tell someone, oh, you know what, you know what you need to do? You need to go on a juice cleanse. Why don't you just have juices, cold presses, or smoothies for a week? How can I say that to someone if I've never done it before?
Exactly.
Myself.
Exactly.
How can I coach somebody through that if I don't know what their ups and downs are going to be as
Yeah.
they're doing it throughout the week?
Yeah.
How am I going to tell them what symptoms that may occur during those 7 days or 5 days or 3 days with them doing this change in their diet? As a person that eats the same way as them, if I told them I've done it myself, then I could coach them through the days that they're changing their diet.
Absolutely.
So, like I said, going back to before, is that if you have the urge to want to learn more and gather more knowledge, then you have to study, or you have to use yourself as a case study. So
Yeah.
for me, I started changing my diet so I can help coach other people through their diet change, so that they can see the difference or feel the difference from within, and then see the difference in their performance and in their body shape. So yeah, that's how my diet started changing. So I tried all the different fads, and during these during these trials,
Hmm.
I started noticing differences in my energy levels and how well I slept. Uh, my fitness levels increasing. So I didn't really stop. I just kept on going. And that process just kept on going forward more and more until I actually became plant based.
Right. That's really cool. And what did anything? I know you're saying you're trying different fads, or trying different, just experimenting on your body to find the best diet for you. But was there anything that was there anything that inspired you to completely cut out all the animal products that you were eating? Like when you were training, when you first started training with Spartan Fam, was you still doing, was you still eating the animal proteins and stuff like that? And did you transition in that period?
Yeah, I was still eating those stuff.
Right.
Those foods were very common in my diet, and
Hmm.
the transition probably didn't start for another year or so.
Okay.
Probably like a year and a half, um, was when I started
So then
adapting my diet.
yeah, so then what inspired that? Did you watch anything? Did you read something? Or what sparked that in your mind? It was like, you know what, let me take out the chicken and the eggs and all that stuff.
Well, the first thing that actually got me to start changing those things
Hmm.
is me trying to help other people that was wanting to look more like me,
Hmm.
but had a bigger build than me because of the way that they ate. And I started changing my diet slowly to see what it would be like. Okay, well, try a vegetarian diet. So,
Okay, okay.
so it was me doing that is what was the shift in my diet change.
Right.
And during that shift in my diet change, I was reading more, doing a lot more research,
Hmm.
and then cross-referencing the research that was coming across because it was conflicting, a lot of conflicting evidence. And I was like, okay, they're saying I need to consume all of this meat. They're saying, and this, and another article or another website saying, I don't need all of that, and I need to be consuming more greens and more fruits. But how do I feel?
Yeah.
And the way that I felt, not feeling bloated, not feeling heavy, not feeling so tired after I eat, it's like, well, kind of makes sense what they're saying about the fruit and veg. So I kept going with the fruit and veg side of things,
Yeah.
but I was still consuming cheese. Um, I was still consuming eggs. I
Yeah.
still have chicken and stuff, but I was eating more vegetarian foods rather than the meat-based foods.
Right, right,
So
right.
that's how the transition started. And then I can't even remember who said what, but oh no, no. So then we started doing a little bit of gymnastics, and there
Hmm.
were a few people there that uh, was on a pescatarian diet,
Yeah.
and a few of them was already vegan,
Yeah.
and they was talking about the bulges that everyone has in their stomach, which made me start thinking more about it. So it was pointing out different stomachs and different bodies that everyone else actually there. I mean, okay, see that bulge that you have just because your body's still trying to metabolize the meat and blah blah blah.
Right.
And I was like, oh, interesting. But in my head, I was like, nah, I'm still good though. I look all right.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I'm already cut. I've already cut down quite a lot, and I've definitely eaten a lot more greens than I've ever done before in the past. So
Yeah.
I'll probably stick to what I'm doing. But then someone said to me at one stage, they said to me, why do you want to eat the same way your ancestors, the oppressors of your ancestors, have forced them to eat?
Right.
I was like,
Interesting. Made you think, innit?
yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was like,
yeah.
for real. So then you start thinking about the certain foods that African and Caribbean people eat,
Yeah.
and I think, okay, so according to my research, we know that you got potatoes, you got um, shrimp, lobsters. That these are bottom feeders. Okay, cool. I don't know why we're eating those. Those are considered as a poor man's food. And then you have mutton.
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay, so that's we're eating goats. So okay, everyone wants lamb, so we're getting old meat. All right, and then you've got oxtail. So, okay, tail from an ox. Tail is used for wiping the, the poo from the rectum.
Yeah.
Like, so why am I eating that? But it tastes so good though. So all right, but okay, so I'm eating tail. So why am I eating tail for? And then you got
I used to
I
love an oxtail, you know. Jeez.
listen.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, I'm
go
not
on.
a pork man, but obviously people eat pig's foot and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
pigtail and all them funny. So for me, I was just like, yeah, you know what? That makes sense because then mentally we are still oppressed. So why am I eating these things? And then that's when it got deep.
Right.
From there, that's when it got deep. But just before that, I used to be a big drinker of milk. I used
Okay.
to drink milk by itself. Like,
Did you?
it used to be a madness. Yeah, back in the day.
Wow.
Um, Cereal, I used to smash a cereal. One of my friends always used to say to me, Coops, you need to stop drinking milk. And I'd be like, why? Because it's bad for you. I said, how is it bad for me? But he never had an answer. Yeah, all right, go
Right.
on, do you then? It's like, yeah, well, of course then. If you're going to tell someone not to do something, give a reason. Don't
Yeah,
just
yeah,
be like, oh, yeah, just stop doing that. You need to stop doing that. I'm a big man. What are you talking about?
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, I'll take a glass of milk over water. I'll be
Are
like,
you
yeah, give me that.
serious?
Yeah, I add milk to scrambled eggs, make it more fluffy,
Yeah, I remember them ones.
custard,
Yeah.
yogurt, even, and that's already there. But I said just to make it last long. But I just used to have milk with a lot of things included, and then I used to have obviously like I used to love my hot chocolates.
Yeah,
So
same.
love making my chai teas. Yeah, everything was a latte. So yeah, I was a big milk drinker as well. So one day I was at the barber shop getting a haircut, and there's a Rastafarian there, and he had African holistic health book. Now he was reading a few pages from it, and people were asking questions about what goes into which type of foods. So as he was there, I asked him, oh, does it say anything to do with milk in there? And he was like, yeah, hold on. And he went through the page, found it, read out the ingredients to me,
Yeah.
what it contains. And then from that moment, that day, cut out dairy.
Are you
Same day,
serious?
cut out dairy. So imagine cutting
From
out
being,
dairy after,
yeah, exactly. That's what I was about to say.
yeah, that day, like there was no, let me transition. I didn't, there was no transition, it was done. So
Is it?
no more cereal, no custard, no more scrambled eggs, like no yogurts, everything. I think there was like 10 or so, like all my different teas that I used to make, my hot chocolates, everything had to go out the window. Everything had to go out the window. I
Wow.
didn't even think about it. I didn't even think about it as a loss. That's the thing. I think that's why I was able to do it. I just thought, wow, what have I been doing to myself all this time? But it just took that one person to be like, yeah,
Yeah,
that's why you
yeah.
don't drink that. Like, at the end of the day, I don't like to be taken as a fool. So if I'm doing something ignorantly, then okay, out out of ignorance, all right, I don't know about that. So that's the reason why I was doing it. But if someone can tell me why you shouldn't do something, or there's the pros and cons to it, and the cons outweigh the pros, then why am I doing it?
Absolutely. That's so
So
true.
he said that to me. I dropped I dropped all of my favorite things. I just threw away all my cereal and everything like that I had in my
Mm-mm.
house. Anything that contained milk, anything that I needed milk for to be able to eat it or drink it, threw them away. And then I think that was, do you know what? I feel like that was probably the biggest step to becoming plant based.
So was milk like the last
Nah,
thing?
eggs were.
Okay. Oh, eggs were. Serious?
Eggs was the last, yeah.
Yo, that's crazy.
Eggs was the last.
I thought
And
it would have
I
been
remember
milk.
that day. I remember that day because I remember because because I train outdoors and I have my own diary or I make my own schedule. I make time for myself to be able to quickly dash home, grab a few things to buy, and then I
Yeah,
continue on in my day.
yeah.
And having boiled eggs, was something that I just used to have from the morning. I'll boil eggs and I'll just leave it in a pot. I drain out the water, just leave the boiled eggs in the pot, and then run out, do my training, come back, might grab a banana, some random mixes of whatever, and then put my bag in out, breathe back out.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But I'll just breathe out, just so I have things on me, so I don't have to worry about coming back home.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember there was a day I just came home and I was eating a boiled egg, and I was just looking at it, and I was just like, this is weird. Like, this is actually weird. Why am I eating? Like, why am I eating this?
Yeah.
And then I was like, it's kind of a few weeks later, it actually becomes an embryo, and then, this will actually be a chicken. And my favorite part is the yolk. Like,
oh man,
why am I actually eating this?
Are you eating that? Yeah.
Yeah. So then, but then I looked at it, I goes, you know what? Nah, man, I can't eat this. This is off key. But then I just smashed it, and then like when I mean smashed it, I ate it. And then and then after I ate, I was like, I don't want that anymore. And then that was the last egg I had. But it took that moment for me to say, I'm done with this.
Yo.
And then that was me.
That's so interesting, man. That's a great story. I thought it would have been the milk, because you sound like you were one of those guys that, like, was you one of those guys that went to the shop and bought the bottle of milk and just drank from the carton?
No.
Okay, I thought you was one of them ones.
No. But I'll pour myself a glass of milk.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I mean, in my household, you put any bottle to your mouth, you'll hold a beating. Are you mad? So, but there isn't really much of a difference. I'm just trying to do it in a more of an elegant way by pouring into a glass. Like, I'm just trying to, but at the same time, I would drink milk just straight by itself. And that was because I was used to doing growing up. So for me, I could look back at it and be like, no, that's disgusting. But at the same time, I've been able to relate to a lot of people that has a love for consuming milk or eggs.
Yeah.
So without me going through that, and without me being able to explain to somebody else, well, I used to do this, and then their eyes growing big, like, really? And be like, that used to be me. And then it makes them think, well, if you was doing it and you're like how you are now, then surely I can do it.
Exactly. Absolutely.
And that was my thing with sugar.
Yeah.
Because I was a number one fan of sugar. I never used to eat sweets or chocolate.
Right.
But sugary drinks and adding sugar to my cereal was like the best thing I could have ever done as a child growing up.
I remember that.
Literally, when you get the big tablespoon of sugar.
I remember doing that as well, yeah.
Big tablespoon of sugar, sprinkle it all on top of the Frosties.
Yeah.
And Frosties already has sugar
in it. Yeah.
And then, like, I'm not finished though. I need another spoonful. Yeah. Boom, back in, sprinkle that until when you're eating your cereal. Then when you get to the bottom, you scrape the sugar out of the bottom of the bowl.
Yeah.
Listen, that was the lick back in the days. Are you mad?
Oh my goodness! Especially because I didn't really do it too much on the Frosties, because Frosties was sugary, bro. But I remember
Frosties wasn't sugary enough. That's why I was going ham with it.
I remember just adding, when they weren't Frosties in the house, all that was left over was cornflakes, bro.
No, that was
dry,
dead.
The dry cornflakes, but then you'd have like the cold milk or the hot milk, and then sprinkle the sugar on top.
Oi.
Yo.
No, listen. Forget the cornflakes, that it was tired to me.
Dead.
But Frosties, because cornflakes, I don't know who used to eat that in my house, but Frosties, I used to put mad amount of sugar on the top, but then I used to get the hot milk and pour it just in the corner side of the bowl.
Yeah.
Because you don't want the whole thing to go soggy.
You
need something to stay crispy.
Yeah.
Listen, I was a pro. If you ever had me made your hot milk Frosties, it was me. You needed me for those days.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, that's
Got man
hilarious.
reminiscing over
It
the
did
cereal in the
with a cereal. Oh man, I remember those. But that's childhood days, man, and that's how we were brought up. You know, that's just the madness that the media feeds parents and feeds children,
Mhm.
and makes us believe that that's real nutrition, that's real food. So
Madness.
that's mad.
Madness. But you got to think that's the reason why we're so addicted to them. It's because you
Exactly.
got wheat contains glutamorphine, which most people don't know, and and milk contains casomorphine. But people only talk about casein, and everyone always talks about gluten, but they both contain opiate derivative. These two, this molecule, which being morphine, is what stimulates your brain. So this is the reason why um, bread and the or the wheat industry and the dairy industry does so well. And to top it off, if you combine them both together, that's an amazing food product. That's why you have pizza. Everyone loves it. Can't stop eating it. Bread
Yeah,
in itself. Look, bread in itself is a highly addictive food. How many people you come across that I just can't stop eating
yeah,
bread? I just
yeah,
have to have bread. And then how many people do you come across that's been like, I can't stop eating cheese. I just got to eat cheese.
yeah,
Right? Because they both contain morphine, so they're both opiate derivatives. And then you add sugar to it, blowing people's mind.
yeah.
So of course, if you eliminate, yeah, you can make a bread that doesn't contain opiate derivatives, um, that isn't an opiate derivative, and then have them eat it. It's not going to stimulate them the same way. You can give them chickpea pasta if you want, but it's never going to be that wheat pasta.
Right,
You can give them buckwheat bread or quinoa bread, but it's never going to be that wheat, that white bread.
right. So that's what gets people addicted to it then.
That's people don't realize they're addicted to food because these foods are drugs. And like until you understand it, then you can say, well, you know what? Now that for me, I don't know about everybody else, but like I said, I don't like to be taken as a fool. So once I find something out, and especially if I've read it myself or researched it myself, take on that information, I apply it to my lifestyle, put it into action. That's me. I'm done.
Absolutely, man. That's great knowledge right there. So, hopefully the listeners took all that in because I think a lot of people out there don't really understand that food is drugs. You know what I mean? Like certain foods are made with those things that you mentioned to get people addicted, and that's why people are addicted to those bad foods. So, how long has it been since you've been plant based? Then
Yeah, 3 years plus, probably a
3 years.
just over 3 years.
And would you say is it one of the best decisions you've ever made in your life? Like, how does it make you
Yeah.
feel now? Like, what's the difference between, I know you probably have more energy, but and stuff like that. But explain to the listeners why it's been one of the best decisions you've made.
Oh, there's so many. There's so many reasons why, but um, I'm just trying to think what's an easy, it's a simple answer. I mean, for optimal health, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I've never felt so good. Um, I felt better than I've ever felt throughout all of my teenage years.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the first thing that made me appreciate my change in diet was how early I fell asleep one night.
Same, same.
Um, Woke up with mad energy because I was so used to falling asleep after 1 a.m.,
Yes.
getting up at 4 a.m., being out of the house by 5:15, and making sure I'm at my first clients by 6 or even 5:30, depending on where the person was. Um, to falling asleep at 9:30, 10 p.m., being like, what? Waking up at 1 a.m., jumping out of my bed, thinking I'm late for my session because my body clock was used to sleeping for 3 to 4 hours long max.
Right.
So that was my first yes, I like this. This is good. And then
Yeah. I can agree with you on that one. I think, my sleep pattern just got so much better.
mhm.
Like so
um
much.
it rewires your circadian rhythm. So your melatonin kicks in at the right time,
Mm-hmm.
allows your body to prepare itself to shut down
Yeah.
at the time that it's supposed to, when the sun is not shining anymore. That's it. The sleep clock appears and your body starts to shut down in a reasonable hour, and
Yep.
then your the hormone of the serotonin starts to be released at the right time of the day, so that you wake up in the morning. But the amount of it that is produced to it's the amount of it that's produced in the morning that allows you to wake up with feeling, okay, I'm ready for the day.
Right.
Whereas before, I wake up feeling sluggish,
Same.
and still feeling like, my food is still there.
Mm-hmm. I hear you.
Why is it? I feel like my food is like hasn't even finished digesting,
Yeah.
because I ate late and my food was heavy, and your body just slows down in trying to metabolize food at this hour. So at those hours, so yeah, that was me thinking, yeah, I think I need to continue doing what I'm doing. And
Right.
then me not feeling sick when everybody else was feeling sick and catching colds and
Yeah, yeah,
flus.
yeah.
I was looking at everyone thinking, I remember those days.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
Oh
then,
man.
do you know what? The eye opener, walking into a shop and realizing that everything being sold to you is poison.
Mm, that is it, you know.
It's like
Yeah.
that movie, They Live. If you've seen that
Yes,
movie
they
where the
live.
guy
Yes, I've watched
the
that.
guy
And
puts on his
the
glasses and
glasses, yep, and then everything's revealed, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah. If anyone
so
hasn't seen They Live, Google They Live movie and try and watch that film. It's a complete eye opener. So yeah,
it's old school, and it's
old school, old school
spitting
classic.
knowledge from old school. But I mean, people look at these things like it's just a movie. No, 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 no.
Nah, there was
But,
yeah, there was messages in that film.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's what I was. That's what it felt like. I was in a movie scene, and everywhere I was looking, I'm just looking at billboards. I'm looking at what's in the stores. I'm looking at the advertisements on the buses, on the taxis, and it's
Yeah,
like that's everywhere,
it's
everywhere,
crazy.
and everywhere wants me to just start eating croissants and
Yeah.
this type of sandwich, and I'm just like, nah, no, I definitely don't want that cheese sandwich. I don't care how much lettuce is in there. Like, when you know something, like, nah,
Brother, listen,
can't
I
be
hear
that.
you. Like, I still like it, even now. I still like walk around and I look at these billboards and these posters and all these advertisements everywhere, just trying to get people to buy all this stuff. I think to myself, this is crazy. It's
But
crazy.
you got to remember, if the foods are brain stimulants, so even if you're not feeling hungry, all of a sudden you want to eat it.
Exactly. That is it.
Subconsciously, you're thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like, you're not hungry, you're bored. Ah, you know what? Let me just
Let me just,
quickly go
yeah.
Subway. Let me just quickly go. Like, no, you don't. But you've probably seen that advertisement or that poster 6 times before you even got into your office.
Yep. Yep. You're so right.
And all you want to do is feel good. That temporary
That temporary
height
feeling.
of
Yeah.
feeling high.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great, man. That's great, bro. And I'm sure it done. Well, did it do wonders for your physique? Um, you know, eating more fresh fruits and vegetables, and nuts, seeds, grains, whatever it is that you eat. Did you see a massive change in the way that
Yeah,
you looked?
yeah, it did all right. It did all right. I think it did. It did. It did. It made a massive change in how I feel and
Mm-hmm.
how my organs are functioning.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely fixed my high blood pressure. Imagine I had
You had high
my
blood
blood
pressure.
pressure. Yeah, my blood pressure was mad.
Did
You know,
you?
I was back in the day. You know, I was before I actually changed my diet. I was on like 4 or 5 meals a day.
4 or 5 meals a day.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I had to go hard.
Wow.
I had to go hard. That's eggs, chicken, fish, whatever it was, I was eating. I always had access to food, so
Yeah.
I was eating a lot. But my blood pressure, let's say, it's just be 120 over whatever. My blood pressure was one. I think it was at like 152 at one stage,
So you were
and
diagnosed with high blood pressure at
yeah,
such a young age.
yeah.
Wow.
Um, and I was thinking, oh yeah, stress related, because we never want to we never want to blame it on the food, and we don't want to blame it on ourselves. We say it's stress,
Yeah.
because if you say stress, then it means that you haven't caused it. Someone else has caused you to feel stressed, and that's how the medical institute works. It's the healthcare system works like that. Is trying to put labels on things so it doesn't seem like you're to blame.
Hmm.
That's why we call things. That's why we say, "Oh, like heart attack," because you're it's a heart attack. We don't know why your heart's doing this. Your heart's attacking you. But
Yeah.
no, we attack our hearts every
Exactly.
day by the way that
Yes.
we consume our food. So it
Ex-
should we attack our hearts. It should be flipped the other way around. So yeah, we say stress and then we continue living the lifestyle that we live, and then we put the blame on everybody else and anything else that can cause us to feel stressed. Um, but yeah, it wasn't that. It was my food intake and what I was consuming. So
wow.
yeah,
That's
my blood sugar, my yeah, my blood pressure is back to normal. It's been back to normal for a few years. That happened quite quickly, actually.
But that's great. So
It
that's good for people to know that, by you changing your lifestyle when it came to food, it, healed you basically
hmm
from your high blood pressure situation. So talk to us about
Wait,
fast.
I
Yeah,
didn't
go
even
on.
answer your question.
Sorry. Oh, didn't you? I thought you did, bruv.
I didn't even answer your question. You asked me,
Oh, the
did it,
physique.
how, yeah, like
Yeah, sorry. I thought
the
I thought I
food.
thought I thought it was just like, oh yeah, it just made my organs feel good and cleared my blood.
No, no,
Yeah,
no.
go on. Okay,
Like,
yeah, wicked. Continue.
obviously, so like my body did trim down with body fat,
Right.
relieve itself from a lot of animal fats from my body, my blood, my tissues, and trim me down for me to look, um, they'll say more ripped. But what
Hmm.
made me look more ripped is the way that I train. See,
Okay.
people need to remember that training equals fitness and strength, and eating correctly equals health. This is
Hmm.
why you have footballers that will die on the pitch, that have cardiac arrest, heart failure. Like loads of athletes can just pass out at any time because their diet is poor. It doesn't mean they're not fit. Does not mean that they're not strong, but it just means that they're unhealthy. So you can be fit and strong and be unhealthy. And this is why a lot of weightlifters or bodybuilders, they suffer a lot. They really
Hmm.
do suffer from health issues. It's always going to be health issues. It'll never be, oh, you're suffering from strength issues. I think they are because they struggle to do pull-ups.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, I mean, if you train a particular way and you eat a particular way, you definitely see the results. And I wasn't overweight, so for me to change my diet, I didn't. I saw a change, but the change wasn't so drastic in comparison to somebody that was, because I was already quite muscular from how I trained already.
yeah. Right.
Um, so yeah, it just made me look a lot more defined, I think. But at the same time, I think I was like 17% body fat at the time,
Right.
maybe more. By the time I did my measurement, I was definitely 17, 18%. And then I mean, as my lifestyle um, continued to get better, I dropped down to around, I bounced up and down from 5 to 8%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
That's
um, yeah, physique. Yeah. I mean, my physique is always it's gonna, I don't know, it's gonna go up and down according to how I train, how often I'm training, how hard I'm training. If I slack and I take months off, like I do every so often, then yeah, you start seeing
Seeing a
things.
difference.
Not, yeah, you don't feel so. I don't know. You don't feel that. Just don't feel as good as you normally feel, and also you start to see the difference in your muscle mass. So yeah, you get back into training, then your muscle starts popping, and the
Yeah.
way that you're eating is just gonna make you look even more sick. So
Yeah. No, yeah, I can agree with you on that one because, I had a moment where I took a lot of time off from training myself, and I could definitely see the difference from when I was training like nearly every day
yeah,
to like literally stopping for a few months. You know what I mean? And then your muscle mass goes down, and you're not really as ripped and defined as you was before. So yeah, I definitely hear where you're coming from with that one.
yeah. But yeah, like I said, if someone isn't so muscular in that sense, if they change their diet and started and they shifted into a plant-based diet, yeah, they would look a lot better than they did when they was overweight or if they was plump. And then all it would take for them to do is start exercising, and then their muscles will start to show, and then
Yeah,
their physique would take form.
yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you for answering the question. I didn't mean to cut man off earlier on. Full-
No, but you know it is. You know,
yeah,
like
go on.
as we're just talking, like obviously we're just flowing. So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I would just slide. I would just I don't know divert kind of. I didn't
Divert.
want to just
Yeah, yeah.
divert. I just
It
want to get
happens.
back to your question. So
Nah,
my
it's all
apologies.
good. That's all good. It happens, man. Yeah. So okay. So then, talk to us about fasting because you are the faster guy. You know what I mean? You're the guy that knows a lot about fasting. Very knowledgeable. Very clued up about it. Um, and talk to the people about fasting. How did you get into fasting? How did you discover it? And what led you to go into that, because that's kind of like on another level. You know what I mean? You went from
Mm.
sad diet, pescatarianism, whatever, still eating chicken, fish, um, eggs, milk, transiting to plant based, and then fasting. Like, tell us about that, bro.
Well, probably about 6, 7 years ago, I was watching something on television, and it was a
6, 7 years
documentary about
ago.
yeah,
So that was
it's a
even
document
before.
before before everything.
Wow. Okay.
I was watching a documentary, and this old guy, I don't know where he was, too long ago for me to remember, but he was saying that he only eats twice or 3 times a week, and I was like, what? And he was shopping, and when he was going shopping, he's like, well, the shopping that I do is to last me for a couple of days, whereas most other people shop to last them for a week or longer. So okay, so I'm just hearing him out, and his whole reason why is because he prefers not to eat, and he wanted to kind of pursue his life slow, not to consume much. He was trying to emulate a lifestyle of a tortoise.
Right.
That was his thing. So he was saying the reason why they live so long is because they reserve all their energy and they eat
Okay.
very little. So I was like, oh, that's very interesting. They started talking
That
about
is.
fasting. So I was like, okay, because for me back in those days, I mean, my school, we have lots of Moroccans in my secondary school, so a lot of people are Muslims. So I knew about um, Ramadan very well and their reasons why they used to fast, but it had nothing to do with their health. And this is the first person I actually heard mention anything to do with their health. And he was a very old man, but he looked really well. Can't remember where he was from. Um, Caucasian, so I think he was 50 something, maybe in his 50s, touching his 60s, but he didn't look his age. He looked like he was in his 40s. I was just thinking, oh, if that was me, I'd probably look like I'm still 20. But
Yeah.
I, but he looked well for his age,
Right.
and I just remember that. So I always remember that's always been in the back of my mind. So I don't know when I came across fasting again, but there was a solid year and a half or so I was actually thinking just about fasting, but I hadn't even picked up my phone or tried to look for a book that had any information on fasting. I just kept on thinking about fasting. And 1 month, the month before, I actually just decided I wanted to fast. I was like, nah, let me do some research. And then that was it. I just put all my energy into it.
Right.
And was cross-referencing a lot of information. And I think 2 weeks into it, I was like, no, I'm doing a fast. I'm fasting. Like this. Let me just do it. And me and a good friend of mine, Raj, we jumped into this fast together. But I decided to jump into the fast 2 days before it, just so that I'll be able to coach him through it. See, even then, I was making sure that I'm not doing something that I can't coach someone else through.
So
I made
dope.
sure I started before
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah.
And I started when I started at the worst time, because the day that I started, I just remembered I had a dinner party, and a dinner party was a dinner party of 30 people in a countryside, which meant I had to drive 2.5 hours to get there. And I got there, and everyone, the whole table's laid out, food's being cooked. They've made a special meal just for me because I eat different, as they would say. And I've had to be like, no, I've not been eating. I know you made this for me, but I just need a glass of water.
Right.
So, yeah, that was peak still. But all I had was a few books, me fasting, my iPad and stuff, and I was just chilling. And the fast started from then. And people was trying to make me break fast, but the thing is with me, when I put my mind towards something, that's it. You can't break me.
Yeah.
And I had mentally prepared myself for it. And there's the thing about a lot of people. There are a lot of people want to fast, but they step into the fast with doubt. If you ever step into a fast with doubt, it's not going to last long. Like, you have to be mind strong. I think that's what it is with everything. I mean, there's a reason why people tell others to look in the mirror and say empowering things, motivational things to themselves, or empowering statements or lines to themselves. Is because you have to feel it, and you have to want to do something for you to achieve it. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. If you keep thinking, oh, I'm going to lose this fight, oh, I'm going to lose this race, I'm going to lose, I'm not going to be able to do it, I can't, maybe, no, it just won't work. And you're setting yourself up for failure.
Exactly.
But yeah, from thinking about it for a very long time to doing a hell of a lot of research and then just jumping into it, that was the start of a whole new chapter. And yeah, that first fast I did 10 days. Did 10 days, and then I jumped in and I broke my fast, but I stayed on cold pressed juices for another day, and then I broke my fast with food the following day.
So your first fast was 10 days?
Yeah.
Wow.
And for me, it was more of a thing where it's more of a mental challenge.
Yeah.
There's this book written by called Meditations, and it's basically a book written off of a diary from Marcus Aurelius, the Greek emperor. And he's a Stoic, so he doesn't appreciate anything, or he doesn't value anything external from his body. And for himself, being an emperor, he believed that it was very easy to conquer a city or town or a country, but the most difficult thing to conquer was your mind. And most people spend their life trying to run away from themselves, whether it's going on holiday, trying to run away from their troubles, but you're going to have to come back. Your mind's always going to be with you. No matter where you go, your mind's always going to be with you. So you don't need to go on holiday to get away from all the madness that's going on in there. Going out for
Exactly.
drinks, going to party, spending time with your friends, that we would do anything possible so that we don't spend time with ourselves. Even when we spend time with ourselves, we have to listen to music, just read stuff, watch television,
Yeah.
dumb ourselves down by just not paying attention to our minds calling, handling our issues, handling any problems, solving problems, whether it's for yourself or someone else. Like we try and run away from these we try and run away from ourselves. So yeah, reading books like that was great for me because my whole thing was I'm physically strong, but I'm mentally strong. So I
Mm-hmm.
really love food. Some other people have stronger addictions to other things, but I know that I'm addicted to food. Why? Because I feel like I have to have it every day.
Mm-hmm.
So if I ever feel like I have to have something, I write it off. So I don't have any addictions to food at all. Because if I feel like now I feel that I have too much of an urge to want something, then I'll just cut it off and I won't have it for a while. Because I like to be in control. So I want to tell myself when I want to eat. I don't want to be a slave to food, if
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense.
No, absolutely, bro.
So yeah,
That's great.
that was me. So by my second day, I had no urge to eat. And then from then, I realized that eating was an addiction and psychological is a psychological addiction.
Amazing. That's really cool, brother. That's really cool. Um, what are the name? You don't have to go too deep into it because obviously, I've got a few more other questions that I want to ask you before I let you go. But what's like the main benefits of fasting? Why do you fast? Like for like as in like health benefits.
Mm. Um, just because it allows your body to just break down and metabolize fat stores that contain high levels of toxins within it. Because toxins can only travel through the bloodstream through fat and mucus. So if you're consuming foods high in fat and these foods that you consume may have um, other chemicals in it, which could be derived from pesticides, herbicides, insecticides, or even um, the waste product that is produced from medicine. They are all stored they're all stored in your fat stores, and when your body breaks them down, it releases it into your bloodstream. So for me, I like to fast because I just like to make sure that my body is staying clean and staying clear of these toxins from within my body. So that's my go-to reason for
Right.
why I like to fast.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's a regulator. It regulates your hormones, it regulates your blood pressure, your sugar levels. Um, it restores health to damaged areas in your body. Removes dead cells, damaged cells, um, repairs cell tissues, and it actually gives your digestive system a break. So
Mm-hmm.
we always talk about rest in our body, but we don't rest our organs, and our organs are continuously working every time we choose something. And we don't seem to realize how many of our organs are in action the moment we start to eat. The moment we start consuming food, everything has to work for the breakdown. The body has stopped producing digestive enzymes. Um, your pancreas is the main organ for the, the final breakdown of all your foods. So I feel for those people that have diabetes because if you have diabetes and your pancreas isn't functioning correctly, then your food's not being digested properly because your pancreas produces um, sodium bicarbonate, which is which produces um, produces uh, alkalinity in
Hmm.
your duodenum, so that your pancreatic lipase and pancreatic amylase can break down the starch and the fats, and then it allows the enzymes to break down, or the chymotrypsin and trypsin enzymes to break down the protein, the final stages of the protein breakdown. If your pancreas isn't able to do that, then your food can't break down before it enters into your small intestine.
Hmm.
And then it just continues on further from there, your small intestine to your large intestine functioning. And then you have, yeah, I mean, your hormones that's being produced from your um, um, your adrenal glands and your thyroid and your whole lymphatic system. Everything has to work in just for you, so that you're able to break down food and then utilize them or store certain nutrients and get rid of certain fibers or waste products. Like everything has to work. So if we're consuming food on a non-stop basis, our organs will wear down. There's wear and tear due to happen, and it happens faster for some, slower for others. And
Mm.
yeah, we don't ever give it a rest. So giving our actual organs a rest at least once a month. That's what I could suggest to some people. Just fast 24 hours, at least once a month.
Right.
You know, because 24 hours isn't really long. Not in my eyes. Maybe because I do it so much. But
Yeah. Yeah.
24 hours, really? Like, if you ate today at 6 p.m. and then you ate tomorrow at 6 p.m., you could do that. You could do that. But if you can't do that, again, this is where it boils back down to: are you addicted to food? Because the addiction is going to make you feel like, no, I have to eat. But at the same time, I always try and explain to people that through conditioning, we believe that our body's calling for food when we hear our stomach rumbling. So we always run to food because our parents have taught us from beginning, from the time that you could ever remember. Your stomach's rumbling. Oh, you're hungry. You must eat
Yeah.
some food. But your stomach's just cleansing itself. That's all it's doing. That rumbling sound is your stomach cleansing itself. So all you need to do is drink water.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you drink water, it removes the urge of eating. And then when you feel like eating again, you need to drink more water. And then you continue drinking water. But you have untold amount of people that don't like to drink water. So then that's another issue in itself.
Absolutely. That's that's some great info, brother. That's some good stuff for the listeners to take away with them, if they want to know the benefits of fasting. And I've started. Obviously, you really inspired me to get into fasting as well, which I've
Oh
started to
yeah.
do. Yeah, I'm not really, I'm not on your level yet, bruv. I'm getting there. I think the longest one I done was 3 days, but hopefully,
Yeah.
I'm trying to get into the 5 to the 7 day. But it just makes so much sense, the benefits of it. I've been doing my own research, and I think that's another thing that people need to do is do their own research. And you inspired me to then for me to go and research more about the benefits of fasting. And yeah, I think it's just a great way to heal yourself and to be healthy,
Yeah. It
and,
is a
and to
serious
be
healer.
it's great.
And a lot of people that's followed my recommendations have they've done some great things to their with their health and reversed a lot of discomforts from within their body.
Hmm. Hmm.
And yeah, I'm glad to have been a part of that, and I'm glad to have helped so many other people with their issues. I mean, I think I've def- I think I've personally coached over one on one. I've definitely coached over 300 or so plus people.
Wow.
Um, and then there's obviously my group sessions that I do with people doing fasting.
That's what you
Um,
do on the Instagram and stuff, right? Online.
yeah,
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
yeah. So So on Instagram, I like to promote when I'm going to do a big fast, whether it be a 5 day or a 7 day fast,
Yeah.
and I bunch everybody up together in one group or two groups, because Instagram only allows you to make groups of 15.
Right.
And yeah, I coach people from day one all the way through their fast, and then how to enter into the fast and how to break the fast. So they have a good amount of knowledge and guidance with them, so they know, okay, well, we don't. He says this. Well, this is the reason why I'm feeling such and such symptoms. But not only that, when everyone for the first time is fasting together, it makes it so much easier, because a lot of people, you're going against the grain. Everyone tells you, again, if you
Yeah.
fast, or if you eat, if you don't eat, you're starving yourself, and you starve yourself, your body's going to eat itself. Again, see, it's that mentality of thinking that your body's going to go, it's fighting against you. Like, your body doesn't
Mm.
attack you. Your body never attacks you. When you get a headache, that's not your head attacking you. That's just a signal saying, listen, you need to drink some water, you
Mm.
know? Or if if you're consuming these type of acid forming foods or drinks, then it's gonna deplete the amount of oxygen in that area,
Yeah.
or it's going to deplete that amount of water in that area. That's going to cause this to happen, and you'll feel the symptom, and that's your warning. But people don't take them as warnings. So yeah, we just assume, just because of how we've been taught, that our body is attacking us. So yeah, I mean, when you've got a whole group of people that's never done something, fasting together, everyone supports each other, and everyone gives each other like great advice and pushes everyone to keep on going. No, it's great. Sometimes I just scroll through the group, the inbox, and I just read through everyone's messages to each other, like
Yeah.
saying, "Yeah, you can do it. Oh my God, I just felt this, and has anyone else felt that?" And then people saying, "Yeah, I felt that earlier, or a few hours ago, but it's over now. It's finished." Like, yeah, just keep going a little bit longer, and you won't feel it no more. And I'm like, yeah, that's good, because I can say it all day long, but
When
I've
other
been
people
doing
say, yeah,
this.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
when someone else haven't done it, because people be like, oh yeah, but Cooper, you're superhuman and blah blah blah. It's just like, oh, you're Iron Man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. I've been doing it for a while, so it's good when someone else says it. It's because they haven't done it, and
Yeah.
if they feel a symptom first, and then they'll talk about it, and then someone else will be, oh no, I just started going through that now. And it's just like, yeah, everyone can relate to each other. So, and then outside of the group, what most people are experiencing is their family members and friends saying, no, you shouldn't do that. It's bad for
Yeah.
your health. Like,
Exactly.
you need to eat, you need protein, you can't do this, you're going to die, you're starving yourself. Why are you doing this? And nobody understands. So they don't have anyone to talk to. But in my group, they do have someone, they have
Yeah.
14 other people to talk to. You know, it's because everyone else in that group is doing it too. So yeah.
It's great because I've seen how you put all that stuff online, and you show your audience or your followers, whatever you want to call it, the conversations and how people are encouraging each other. And I think it's really good. I think it's a great thing that you're doing, especially doing it via Instagram. I think it's really good, man.
Yeah, bless up for that, my brother.
I think it's really good. What advice would you give to anybody that's listening to this podcast? What advice would you give to anyone that is thinking about, changing their lifestyle when it comes to food, or if they're interested in, fasting? What advice would you give people to take away with them?
Uh, First things first is, why do you want to do it? A lot of people, I feel, want to do things without fully thinking it through. The moment you come to clarity of the reason why you want to do it, it would all make sense, and then you'll just do it. So once, one thing is, know what it is that you want to do, know what it is that you want to achieve, and then do it. Put 110% into it, because no one's going to do it for you. It doesn't matter
Absolutely.
what it is. So do not listen to anybody else that isn't on your path. It's because it's only you on that path,
Absolutely.
you know. And whenever you're doing something good, or you're doing something right, there's always going to be someone. It doesn't matter how close that person is to you, no matter how much of a best friend that person is, or close that brother or sister is to you. If you're doing something that exceeds um, their potential, or makes another person feel that you may leave them behind, they may hold you back, but you can't allow that to happen.
Absolutely.
I mean, doing anything right makes draws or builds a reflection upon that person's lifestyle to make them feel like they're doing something bad. If Ryan, for instance, if you and I were outside the school gates and you said to me, come, let's bunk, forget going to school. And I say, nah, I'm going into class because I was going to finish off my coursework and hand that in. You might tell me no, it's because come with me. Because if I go in, then you look like you're definitely doing something bad, but we're both being bad together, then it's all good.
Yeah.
But the only person that's going to allow me to pass my grade is myself. So you, yourself, your mind, and your body is your project. Work on your project. The project is you. Master your project. Complete it. Make your achievements reality.
Boom. That was a good one. If no one if no one gets inspired or gets some type of advice or inspiration from that answer, then I don't know what they've been listening to. But that's awesome. Can you recommend any books that you may have come across? Maybe one or two or three books that might have inspired you on your journey when it comes to fasting or any plant-based diets or whatnot.
Plant-based, definitely, I would say consumer beware. I am a few thousand miles away from my home, so I can't look at my library right now.
Oh, for real? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at, son?
I'm in the United States of America.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
so yeah, so consumer beware.
Yeah.
That is an old book actually, and it actually details what they've been putting into our foods, how they've been growing, how the meat and dairy industry is increasing the size of their animals, etc., since the 70s. And yeah, the reason why a lot of people are becoming ill. I say the China study,
Yeah.
definitely a big one, in regards to gathering more knowledge about how much our food plays a huge role in our illness. Fasting, fasting and eating for health by Joel Joel Furman, I think his name is. Yeah, that's a good book. Yeah.
Wicked. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, bro. So this is gonna be my last question to wrap this up. I
Go
always
on.
end. I always end on this question. So, you know, my last question will be, what is your top three favorite fruits? Because I know you're a big fruit eater. You're a big green leafy vegetable eater. You like your raw foods as much as your cooked, great, healthy plant-based foods. But what is the top three fruit? Your favorite fruit?
Oh, that's very hard right now because I've been eating different fruits out here.
Okay.
So damn, I would mangoes at the top.
Number one, straight up. I'm
Mangoes
with
at
you.
the top.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Um,
Number two, after
Number
mangoes.
two. All right, I'm just going to say which fruits I've been smashing the most.
Okay,
Over
if that makes it easier for you.
Yeah, so I say mangoes number one, papaya second,
Ooh.
and pineapples.
Okay.
Just because
Okay.
that's all I've literally been eating this year. When I'm in tropical countries, there's a lot of other fruits out there that is really nice. Like right now in my little basket, I've got the yellow jackfruit, and that is the lick.
Jackfruit kills me.
That's no, I've got no, I've got jackfruit. I've got yellow
Pattaya.
pitaya.
Ooh, that's a
Yellow
killer.
pitaya's in the box. The jackfruit's in the fridge, just chilling. Listen, I forgot about jackfruit and I forgot about pitaya.
Come on.
And I might have to change. I might have to change my list. Listen, it's peak out here. There's a lot of fruits.
I'm telling you,
Do you
man.
know
It's like
what? Get
the
rid of the pineapple. Get rid of the pineapple. No, but pineapple is essential for your body, though.
right.
That like, for instance, if I'm consuming foods that may be high in fat the night before, I would definitely prefer to have something like pineapple. So I like to eat strategically.
Right.
So I would definitely have what we would class as a acid fruit in the late morning, early afternoon as my first meal, just because it helps with the elimination process of any mucus that's been formed from the digestion or the metabolism of the last foods that you had eaten the night before.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
So yeah, it's kind of a tricky one. Am I eating for taste or am I eating for my general health?
Mm-hmm.
But that's another interview.
That's another interview. Yo, is quick question. Is pineapple, is that a good one to break fast with as well? Like, as in if you've done a long fast, like a 3-day, 4-day, 5-day, is pineapple a good
Nah.
one to break fast?
Well, it depends, because you just said a long fast and then you said 3, 4, 5 day.
Yeah.
If you're saying long fast, then we have to definitely say 2 weeks plus.
Right. Okay.
But I would still recommend that if you're going to consume something, because there's different people with different health issues. So I wouldn't suggest to eat pineapples because it could be too aggressive on their
too
digestive
astringent.
tract.
Yeah.
So I always keep the fruits on a high water content. That's why I always recommend having something like a watermelon
Absolutely.
as breakfast. But I always say break fast with coconut water, to be honest, because you need to replenish the amount of electrolytes that's been lost throughout the days that you hadn't been eating.
Yep.
Especially if you're fasting in a hot country. And then obviously then you jump into your have watermelons, or blend up your watermelon and have that as a juice.
Yeah.
And then move on after that.
Wicked, man. Well, listen, bro, thank you so much for taking the time out to sit down with me, jump on the call and get this interview recorded. I know it's been a tough one trying to, pin down our schedules to make it happen. So
we took our time, but
we took our time, but we got there in the end. So I really do appreciate you passing on some knowledge and just sharing your story with the listeners. I think it's so important, man. You have a great following, and I'm sure a lot of people would like to know more about your story. So thank you for giving me that time to share it with the public. I appreciate it, man.
Man, it was a good talk.
Yeah, it's a nice talk. So let's catch up soon. Enjoy the rest of your time in the US of A.
Jamaica in 2 days.
Ooh, okay. So you're going to be eating some different fruits out there, I'm guessing.
That's what I'm saying. So of course, my fruit selection's going to change. I'm after this message you a new favorite list.
A new list, yeah. Gonna hit them tropics. My G, I won't hold you for too long. But thank you again, yeah.
Bless up. On a rebound.
Yeah. Peace up.
Thank you once again for tuning into this week's Pod Lounge. The seed is where all life begins, and for me, every guest that comes into the Pod Lounge is a special seed, sharing insight to hopefully plant new seeds in your minds to help you evolve and grow. I hope you were able to take away some valuable knowledge from our conversation to inspire and influence you on your journey to well-being. Stay up to date with all that I'm doing, whether it be what fruits I'm eating, new Pod Lounge episodes, or music releases. So if you're not already, please follow me over on Instagram, where you can find me at Living Plant Foods, LivingPlantFoods. Thank you so much again. Let's all push this forward. Love, light, and blessings to each and every one of you. Peace.